I'm gonna ask that you
Is that Melody Scretchen?
now it's Miss the other lady, the SS.
I will ask that you, is that tune scratching no? It's a miss the other woman, the SS woman, gracious strawberry, no doubt it's out the woman. And the least house nearby is Ernest's sweetheart slice colleague slice. I don't have any idea what else Toogie's viewed as hazardous. We've all caught wind of Shirley Strawberry's significant other Ernesto Williams, various allegations from burglary to unlawful ownership of weapons illustrate this individual, yet trust me, this adventure is a long way from being done. Our superb story today revolves around the frightening uncover made by insiders who've unwound the mysterious ties among Ernesto and his supposed numerous wives, uncovering a puzzling maze of connections, double dealing, and lawlessness. He can't be around Shirley's little girl, who is supposed to be a survivor of his Shirley's grandkids, who are supposed to be casualties of his Hello Everybody, and welcome back to Secret Life channel. And all the upheaval has reemerged because of new data about Ernesto's past relationships. Formally, it was realized that there were just two yet. It's currently becoming known that Ernesto was truly hitched a sum of multiple times, and we should simply express not a single one of them finished to prosperity sentenced for things like furnished burglary in his past. And how that happened in Cobb Province, Ernesto's most memorable, legitimately perceived wife, as per the as of late uncovered marriage declaration, is that if they were hitched in South Carolina quite a while back, and their marriage is still lawfully restricting pushing the alleged first wife Martha to the situation with wife number two. This fountain of disclosures has prompted the realignment of the known request of his different wives, making Diddy wife number three and Shirley the fourth. And the most recent, this thrilling disclosure brings up bunch issues in regards to the authenticity and legitimateness of Ernesto's ensuing marriage scaffolds and the destiny of those unconsciously entrapped in this tangled web. The implications of these disclosures are serious. Ernesto, by enjoying different relationships while as yet being legitimately hitched to Edith, has possibly carried out polygamy on numerous occasions, uncovering himself to legitimate repercussions, as well as including different ladies in a frenzy of lawful intricacies and moral difficulties. This causes to notice the expected fights in court and outcomes that might follow, influencing all gatherings, included Ernesto's life, appears to be a mind-boggling puzzle with each piece, uncovering more about his surreptitious exercises and problematic moral compass. The hurricane encompassing Ernesto is escalating, uncovering his maze in conjugal history. Who might have felt that Ernesto, now under the glaring spotlight because of his high-profile union with Shirley Strawberry and his disputable $1 million misrepresentation, embarrassment, harbors a past saturated with mystery, and claimed plural marriage $1 million misrepresentation plot, and a ton of casualties. This all occurred through a supposed development and training business, some portion of it run via virtual entertainment diving. Into the disclosures we initial track into the shadows, with Edith, his secret wife of 38 years. It appears to be the Ernesto introduced to general society is an exterior standing out unmistakably from the man. Edith realizes an association started during the 80s was the establishment for an enumerating business displaying an apparently fruitful expert front anyway. This veneer was defaced by Ernesto's disloyalties, finishing in Edith flight stays bewildering. Is the steadiness of their conjugal security in spite of their alienation, particularly while considering Ernesto's progressive relationships. Yet the dark hole goes further as we look at the complexities of his resulting relationships. Apparently, the unpredictable trap of Ernesto's conjugal undertakings misled every wife about her job in his life. Martha, at first remembered to be his most memorable wife, was consigned to the place of the second wife with their 20-year association, covered by his lawful restricting to Edith, then enters him at first accepted to be the second now, the third wife enduring a momentary 2 years. And afterward, obviously, there's Shirley at first the third, yet to be sure the fourth, getting through 8 years in the tangled snare of Ernesto's adoration life. All while Edith and Ernesto remain in fact wedded, illustrating a man caught in a huge number of tricky connections, every wife accidentally captured in a polygamist web. These disclosures bear a significant effect, not just undulating through the existences of the accidental mates, yet additionally creating shaded areas on the kids brought into the world inside the limits of these connections. 5 out of 6 brought into the world to a man previously limited by marriage. It lays out a bleak picture covered in the ramifications of rawness and trickiness, and makes one wonder of how. These disclosures will shape their prospects, the dad of 6 children and 4 grandkids, some of them thunderings inside the big name circle. And the murmurs of insiders uncover a stunning negligence for legitimate ties and human association. Ernesto, a man of many appearances, has kept general society and his nearby circles in obscurity, controlling discernments and introducing a picture of guiltlessness. While purportedly carrying out polygamy on different occasions, this entire situation likewise unwinds further inquiries concerning Shirley's position in all of this. How did she, an unmistakable figure through her association with Steve Harvey, disregard such glaring warnings? And what of her property and her legitimate remaining in this defaced relationship? Does she stand to recapture what was lost? Or is she captured in the legalities of a fake association, particularly since his exes don't talk excessively well of him? The suggestions and verifiable chomps uncovered about Ernesto are significantly alarming, and in all honesty, upsetting different insiders. Those shadows behind the charming drapes of VIP lives have shared unstable subtleties, revealing insight into Ernesto's purportedly odious nature. A nature disguised underneath a veneer of predictability and secret by the distinguished shadows of his new associations. An insider who decided to stay unknown because of the responsiveness of the data alluded to a maze of stealthy exercises, saying Ernesto generally had a side to him that was obscure to the public, to the side marinated in trickery. And guiltiness's control wasn't bound to his relationships. It was a necessary piece of his way of life, one that he supposedly used to participate in criminal operations. The billows of doubt around his personality thickened as stories of his supposed contribution in different crook tries were uncovered, painting a distinct difference to the picture depicted in open arenas. One more source nearer to the spouses unveiled. He never truly thought often about his family. It was each of the game and exterior the wives, generally misdirected, left him due to his unending disloyalty and complete indifference with regards to his kids. His deserting and apathy toward his youngsters just enhanced the hatred radiating from his exes, passing on numerous to ponder the genuine Ernesto hiding underneath the surface. One more insider dug into his past, uncovering Ernesto's connect to wrongdoing is definitely not a new improvement in any event. During his previous relationships, he was especially ensnared with some unacceptable group. His organization was his mysterious, a risky contact between his public exterior and secret reality. This multifaceted hit the dance floor with wrongdoing purportedly wove through his connections, each stage a determined move to additional his advantages, while keeping a similarity to decency, a disguise that apparently slipped through the cracks, until the draperies were pulled back, uncovering his actual person. Ernesto's story of duplicity and asserted criminal contribution took a public turn in 2022. When he and his assistant, Erica Ruler, were captured on extortion, Paul paid great cash for their administrations, yet left with nothing. Police say it was all getaway. This disclosure was an after effect of an examination started by Roswell police because of abnormalities in rental installments and skipped checks. Basically positioned themselves as specialists in the fields of business development, advancement training, things of that nature. In the public eye, Ernesto was known as a decent financial specialist, running a 24-hour hairstyling salon in Atlanta, and blending with superstars like Shaquille O'Neal. An Econon article in the New York Times in 2012 even featured his business attempts, a judge he has possessed prepping power parlors. Some grill hair salons, anyway. This facade of decency hid a man with a detailed, broad lawbreaker record, including earlier detainments for misrepresentation and equipped burglary, to demand increasingly more installment, promising that those administrations and products would be subsequently given, yet never following through with those issues. Ernesto's association with VIP Radio Co. have Shirley Strawberry was made much more conspicuous when she, notwithstanding monitoring his darling Erica, wrote a strawberry letter to the adjudicator. Arguing for his delivery, the court was rigid, monumental circumstances to his security. For example, avoiding Strawberry's girl and her youngsters in any contact with creatures. I have various individuals. We would demand no contact with 2 Sheridan Strawberry and her children, the Erica Lord. This perplexing lattice of connections, double dealing in charges, suggest a progression of conversation starters. Did Shirley, a prestigious figure with a tremendous fan base, purposely safeguard and harbor a man asserted with such terrible violations? Or was she too bamboozled by Ernesto's disguised Shirley and Ernesto?